Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of KPW War Zone. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And tonight, we are main eventing the evening with our World Heavyweight Champion non-title action heading in towards the next monthly special event, Madhouse, in just 12 nights, October 25th, 9/8 Central, where Pando will be scheduled to defend his World Heavyweight Championship. But in our main event, he will be engaging in one hell of a hoss fight. As Oliver English Hosway, they are not permitted to make any sort of contact with the World Heavyweight Champion, as their jobs literally depend on it. But a man that does not have to abide by that same restriction, Parliament's own 400-pound heavy Papyrus goes one-on-one against Pando in our main event. Also, still to come here tonight, tag team action. A void has been left open after a crushing defeat of the Raging Bulls last week via count-out, a humiliating defeat at that. As two tag teams now step up to fill the void, to fill the shoes of Willie Nixon and Mojo Perry, the next team to challenge K-Dog and Solo for the KPW Tag Team Championships could very well be decided here tonight, as it will be Bam Dardino, Ricky Rhombus, the BamBus, taking on Wasp, Mosquito, otherwise known as the Murder Hornets. Also still to come, speaking of the Devils, speaking of the tag team champions, one half of our tag team champions will be in action coming up here tonight, as it will be the Scrapyard Saint Solo taking on one half of the First Nation, the War Machine, Slardy, and what will surely be a slobber knocker for the ages. Also, still to come, something to kick off the festivities here tonight. Two meetings of the minds, two of KPW's most eccentric personalities, day one signees at that. As France's greatest export, the star attraction, Pierre Cinema, goes one-on-one against a man on a personal mission, a man that looks to try and dethrone the sauce coming up at Madhouse. But first, he has to earn that shot in the ring here tonight. The role model, Tape, will be meeting Pierre Cinema one-on-one in just a short moment. But before we head down to ringside, I understand that our resident interviewer, Roger, is standing by with the king of Stego style, Cory Sinclair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with one of the most skilled fighters this sport has ever seen. This man fought for his dreams back at Euphoria, and he still has plenty to pursue here in KPW. Mr. Cory Sinclair, give us a glimpse into your thoughts here.
Roger, I would love nothing more than to talk about my dreams and my aspirations. If everything was rainbows and sunshine, I'd be standing here talking about how I overcame the odds at Euphoria against that 500-plus pound beast. But I didn't. He pinned my shoulders to the mat, and then to add insult to injury, he planted me with my own move. A more careful man than me would have taken their ball and ran home with it. But I had an epiphany. Chris Billy wouldn't have gone after me like that if I didn't push him to the limit. He knew I had him dead to rights. He was insecure, scared. Downright embarrassed that a man half his size almost beat him at Euphoria. And if he doesn't fear me, he'll answer this call. People thought our first encounter was just a pipe dream and they never thought it would happen. But now, I'm demanding that you make lightning strike twice. I want you. On the 25th. At Madhouse. Give me a round 2.
I don't think Chris Billy would be opposed to fighting you again, especially at Madhouse. But he's not in the building here tonight. He will be here for War Zone next week when he takes on the KPW Hardcore Champion, Bob, in a battle of the giants. I know for sure that you will be watching with a keen eye.
He may not be in the premises tonight, but I'll be waiting for him next week. And then we'll see how big and bad Chris Billy really is.
Strong words from the king of Stego Style, making a hard demand for a round 2 at Madhouse. Unfortunately, Chris Billy, the 525-pound man beast, not in the premises here tonight. But two individuals looking to meet in the ring here tonight with the same level of viscosity as Chris Billy are looking to lock horns here very shortly. A man that was also a former KPW World Heavyweight Champion, Pierre Cinema, looks to take on the role model, Tape. Marching with a little bit of an extra pep in his step here this week after confronting the Sauce back in the Atlanta residency last week on War Zone. Looking to try and cut off the momentum of our new KPW Twitch champion before the ball could truly get rolling. He wants to earn that shot. He knows that the Sauce is watching very closely here tonight. And now it's go time between these two individuals. The bell has rung. Pierre with the quick start. Drop down. And a drop toe hold. Takes Tape off of his feet. Sunset flip, but Pierre's reaching the ropes. Both of these men embroiled in one hell of a storm. Not quite connected outside of this bout here tonight. But one man is certainly stirring up a storm in the case of Tape, trying to elicit the attention of the KPW Twitch champion. Pierre Cinema, on the other hand, in the eye of a real storm, as the director, Steven Gilberg, consistently tries to blackmail his way to the top. I mean, that he's got some sort of leverage over Pierre Cinema. Looking to unleash some real skeletons in the closet. Quick jab takes Pierre Cinema down. Waistlock tie up, German suplex, but Pierre lands on his feet. A forearm strike to the back of Tape. Another forearm strike to take him right back down. A quick pinfall attempt, but Tape pops the shoulder up. Arm drag from Tape, another drop toe hold from Pierre Cinema. Arm elbow tie up, looking for a headlock. Pierre counters with a side suplex. And the action spills to the outside. Pierre displaying his in-ring dominance. And a bit aggressive, getting a bit territorial here. Handspring moonsault over the top and down to the floor. The faithful in the front rows are getting their money's worth here tonight.
11.
Another forearm strike, but Tape ducks it and rolls right into the ring.
4.
As we've seen in recent months,
2.
a real development in the attitude of Pierre Cinema ever since he lost that World Heavyweight Championship.
6. 7.
Been a lot more vicious when it comes to the bell-to-bell action.
10.
Bit less chivalrous. But he is as tough and as lean and as mean as they come here in KPW. We've seen the type of endurance that he could put on back at Euphoria, that 60-minute tag team Ironman match. He went that full hour without taking any sort of pinfall loss, without taking any sort of submission. There is no give in the heart of Pierre Cinema. Quick bulldog from Tape. Pierre's back on his feet. Neckbreaker counter from Pierre Cinema, catching Tape center of the ring. Here, looking to drag Tape towards the corner. Descends to the top rope. Pierre Cinema having a quick change of plans here. A bit of a hesitation. Leap off the top rope there. Neckbreaker from Tape now. Now Tape taking Pierre Cinema off of his vertical base. Inverted figure 4 leg lock being applied. Drop kick sidestepped by the role model. Pierre Cinema reciprocates with a drop kick of his own, and now a second one in the corner. We know that Steven Gilbert, he's been trying to blackmail his way to the top, like we said before. Trying to leverage Pierre Cinema into stepping aside so he can finally get his shine. Brainbuster cover, and Tape kicks out. And we heard from Pierre Cinema last week on the program, last week on War Zone, that he thinks that Steven Gilbert is putting up a front. He's putting up quite a facade. He thinks that the whole approach here, the whole affront that he's been trying to make these past several weeks is just a complete bluff. A distraction to get Pierre Cinema away from the championship that he lost just 2 months ago, the World Heavyweight Championship. Tornado backbreaker by Tape. Spinning back elbow from the role model. A knee lift takes down Pierre Cinema once again. Tape going back to the legs of the star attraction. Here takes Tape off of his feet, and now he's making him pay for it. A reverse sitting armbar. Here looks to move in. He looks to try and make his mark felt here tonight. Tape has been very intensely in the hunt for singles gold here in KPW ever since he dropped the tag team gold in the course of the spring.
1, 2.
Quite possibly he's definitely half of the most decorated tag team in KPW history, as him and Bob have collectively shared the longest tag team championship reign in company history. Double underhook backbreaker onto Tape. As he slowly gets back to his feet. Irish whip reversal sends Pierre into the corner. Tape setting up the tree of woe position. And taking a strike below the belt. Or perhaps above it in this instance, as Pierre was completely upside down there, trapped in the ropes. Noggin knocker knocks them both down as they're both seeing stars here tonight. They're both trying to get their heads straightened. Head scissors takedown from Tape. Both of these combatants in the ring here, they got a couple screws loose. That's certainly gonna knock out a couple bolts there. A jumping pile driver cover.
Count 2.
And Tape still gets up. He still beats the count.
Break.
Tape getting a bit more underhanded with his tactics here tonight. Trying to rake the eyes of Pierre Cinema. Shoulder tackles
1.
denied by Tape as he goes for a sunset flip counter. Diving fist drop from the second rope. Lateral press.
1.
Shoulders on the mat. He's counting the lights and Tape kicks out again. A jumping knee lift into the face of Pierre Cinema. Pierre trying to back Tape towards the corner, and Tape goes flying over the top and down to the floor.
3.
Acai moonsault, but Tape backs out of the way there.
5. 6.
Quick on his feet, quick,
7.
even quicker with his wits.
8. 9.
Tape had to stay on top
10.
of the game here. He had to stay
11.
on top of Pierre Cinema's movements. Ope into the ring, but nobody home. As Tape gets pushed back into the corner here. Pierre Cinema. Tornado DDT. Cover.
1. 2.
And you can see just how much that opportunity means to Tape, how much he needs to try and get his hands on the sauce in just 12 nights, not even a full fortnight coming up ahead at Madhouse on the 25th. Sunset flip leaping over the top rope, center of the ring, but Tape squeaks out the shoulder. This bout continues. Quick bulldog by Pierre Cinema. What the hell is this? That's the music of the director, Steven Gilbert. This is a really inopportune time for Pierre Cinema to be hearing those notes hit. But where the hell is the director at? Tape seizing the moment, blindsiding a distracted Pierre Cinema. A Uranagi,
Break.
but Pierre's reaching the ropes. And just as quickly as Pierre Cinema thought he had it won, the momentum has shifted into the favor of the role model. Steven Gilbert trying to screw Pierre Cinema. Powerbomb reversal. And the Star Attraction, France's greatest export, is irate. A positioning Pierre Cinema. Shotgun drop kick from the top. Center of the ring here. Moonsault, look at the height that Tate got. He should have went for more velocity as it gave Pierre just enough time to get the knees up. Tate going for that roundhouse kick, trying to knock some screws loose in the head of Pierre Cinema. Looking to find that very certain, very specific weak point. Trying to find whatever opening that he can, but he can make the move, make any sort of sense to capitalize here. Irish whip into the corner. Roundhouse kick. Pierre just collapses to the center of the ring. That's gotta be it.
2. Count 2.
No! Pierre's back on his 2 feet. That's that endurance of Pierre Cinema kicking in. That's that second gear finally being shifted into motion in this bout. Running knee lift into the corner. Tape looking to go for a torture rack neck breaker. Cover.
1, 2. Count 2.
And Pierre just won't quit. He will not stay down. You can see Tape getting more and more frustrated here. Release German suplex. Pierre's back on his feet. That's the second time this bout that Pierre Cinema has been able to counter that German. Another clothesline from Tape. Head full of steam here. Well, Nelson suplex, but Pierre's feet were touching the ropes. Crucifix pinfall attempt. Tape's feet touching the ropes this time. These two men are more than ready to tear the house down here tonight. And listen to the roar of the Kumite Forum here tonight. Packed, stacked, and sold out. A fighting spirit on display for both of these men. A slot counter from Pierre Cinema. Pele kick from Tape. This could be the opening that he needs, trying to capitalize on the already weakened legs of Pierre Cinema. A quick jab takes Pierre back down to size. The hell is Tape thinking? Springboard spinning wheel kick. Tape getting into position there. A haymaker right to the gut of Pierre. Tornado backbreaker once again.
1.
Cover.
Count 2.
And Pierre has no quit. The endurance, the cardio on display here tonight from Pierre Cinema. It's what this is exactly why Pierre Cinema has become such an elite performer here in KPW. It's what got him far enough to become the world heavyweight champion before. And now it is up to the role model to try and keep up to the pace of Pierre. Irish whip into the corner. Tape letting loose with those chops to the chest of Pierre. Big running boot from Tape. He's waiting for Pierre from the corner, one side of the ring to the other. Running knee lift, and that'll knock the wind right out of anybody. Here, he's just gasping for breath. That running knee lift, that really could have fractured a rib there. Tape signaling for the end. Prescription bottle.
One, two.
I don't think that gloating was necessary at the end. But I don't think it matters to the role model. He's got a W in the column. That's what's gonna show in the record books. And unfortunately, that record book is not gonna show that asterisk of what could have happened had Steven Gilbert not provided that assist. That crucial distraction that shifted the tides into the favor of Tape. And it looks like Tape might have punched himself a ticket to Madhouse with that victory here tonight. Get another close-up look at the prescription bottle in action, that patented Gonzo bomb. A high impact landing. And speaking of impact, nobody's made a stronger impact than this man, the Twitch champion, the Sauce. He said that he would co-sign Tape. He would give him the shot at Madhouse if he picked up the victory here tonight. The Sauce looking to be a man of his word here. And the Sauce just laid out the role model. He doesn't have to be happy about this deal. He doesn't have to be cordial. He doesn't have to be civil. The Sauce laying in the cut on Tape. He just went through one hell of a match here, and now he's got to deal with the now two-time KPW Twitch champion. That might have been the greatest singles win in the history of Tape's career right there. But he's not going to remember this night for that specific reason. He's going to be in the trainer's room with a bunch of ice packs, courtesy of the Sauce here. The Sauce looking for the rockabye, and he connects with it, slamming down Tape to the center of the ring with authority, and he's not finished. 2 for 2. Planting that elbow right into the heart of the role model. I give you my cosign, you son of a bitch. The Sauce marches up the ramp with the message sent. You wanted to talk the talk? Well, now it is time to walk the walk. And Steven Gilbert now rushes through the crowd. Pierre Cinema just struggling to get to his feet there. And now he's got to deal with this sick, sadistic son of a bitch. And he's just completely tactical here tonight, moving in such a surgical manner. Is Steven Gilbert trying to gouge out the eyes of Pierre Cinema? And he's still on the move here. Steven Gilbert warned Pierre Cinema not to take his threats lightly. Pierre thought he was calling one hell of a bluff here on Steven Gilbert. And now it is the director picking up the scraps of the role model here tonight. I think you've made your point here. Blue shell bomb.
Knockout. Well.
And just like that, Steven Gilbert continues his personal vendetta against France's greatest exporter, Pierre Cinema. The man just screwed Pierre out of a hard-fought victory here tonight. And he's looking to take a whole hell of a lot more from this man. Steven Gilbert looks to snatch up all the opportunities that Pierre Cinema has been afforded over the course of KPW's history. And only time will tell if Steven Gilbert could truly step up to the plate. But coming up next, some more hard-hitting action as the War Machine takes on the Scrapyard Saint. It's Slardy versus Solo. Representing Bunker Hill, representing the KPW Tag Team Champions, electing to walk to the ring alone is Solo. This man didn't have a lot of faith in his tag team partner, the other half of the tag team champions in K-Dog. You believe that as a founding father, the Bunker Hill collective here in KPW, that K-Dog was struggling to carry his weight, but K-Dog was the deciding factor and then becoming tag team champions here. And now Solo has to go one-on-one against one half of the team that they dethroned to become the tag team champions. And he's got one hell of a fight ahead of him. He's going up against the War Machine, Slardy. Big boot takes down the Scrapyard Saint. And Slardy, he's such a vicious striker. Once that bell rings, he can brawl with some of the best here in KPW. He knows how to take the fight to such an extreme level. Who could forget the parking lot brawl this man went through with our current World Heavyweight Champion, Pando? all those months ago at Mayhem. They were throwing caution to the wind. They were risking each other's lives in that parking lot brawl. It didn't seem like they were ever going to stop until it took the World Heavyweight Champion defying death with that moonsault off the top of the tractor trailer. Speaking of Pando, we will be seeing him in action here in our main event of the evening as he goes one-on-one against the Big Hoss of Parliament. We are, of course, talking about the 400-pound Papyrus. That's still to come later this evening. Solo caught in one hell of a position. As we mentioned, he had a real lack of faith in K-Dog pulling his weight for Bunker Hill, but as we previously stated, K-Dog was a decisive factor in them becoming the tag team champions. He's been the decisive factor in them retaining their tag team championships at Euphoria against the Raging Bulls. And now Solo looks to try and carry that same weight. Irish whip into the corner here. Slardy and Solo in exchange of blows here. Slardy tossing Solo out of the ring and down to the floor. Slardy heading outside the ring, looking to meet the scrapyard saint out there.
7.
Running Hurricane Rana. Speaking of the founding fathers of Bunker Hill, one has to be wondering what the future goals of Bunker Hill in general will be once they shake off the weight of Parliament, trying to run amok, trying to run wild here in KPW. That resistance that all four of these men work together to establish against Parliament. K-Dog, Solo, Popcorn Poppy, and the Heartthrob Popo. It's already softening up the neck of Solo here. Oh, back to that clothesline, that stun gun. Draping Solo's neck over the top rope. Arm elbow tie-ups, Irish whip. Slardy looks to meet in the middle with a hellacious clothesline. Looks to go for it again here, but Solo catches him with a European uppercut. Spinning wheel kick, but Slardy's still on his feet here. The European uppercut finally sends him tumbling to the mat. Slardy, Solo putting up one hell of a fight against one another. Wrist lock reversal by Slardy. Inside cradle countered by Solo. Not even a 1 count. Back elbow from Slardy sends Solo through the middle ropes. Solo back on his feet, back on balance, at composure, cool, calm, and collected. Looking to move in on the War Machine. Boston Crab attempted. Slardy powers out of it. Perhaps Solo was trying to go for the Lion Tamer, a patented maneuver of the First Nation. Slardy clears the ring once again.
2,
And now he looks to
3,
take the fight to the floor here.
4, 5, 6, 7,
More machine gun chops from Slardy.
9, 10, 11.
Could Slardy be going for the count-out victory for the second week in a row here? Action returning to the ring. Solo beating the count, thankfully. Slardy, he was the man that gave the First Nation that crucial victory last week on War Zone. That count-out victory. Clothesline reversal by Slardy. I think Slardy's trying to send one hell of a message here to the tag team division. Draping the neck of Solo. Trying to snap the neck of one of the tag team champions. That could force Haydog to vacate the tag team championships for his team. It's been nothing but pure bedlam in the tag team division as of late. The Raging Bulls being knocked out of tag #1 contendership, courtesy of the First Nation. The BamBus re-entering the fray, as we'll be seeing coming up next on the program. Big spot on the pine, courtesy of Slardy. And Slardy's just been relentless with the stun guns. And he's still not done. Solo, quick on his wits. I think he's tapping into survival mode at this point. Solo trying to mount up a comeback. Spinning wheel kick takes Slardy back a bit. Big boot. But Solo, he's not giving up the fight just yet here. Snap suplex towards the center of the ring. Slardy trying to move in. Solo with the double-handed chop. Sweep kick takes Solo off of his feet, excuse me. Reverse DDT by Slardy. Slardy regaining control of this bout. He's moving as quick and as ruthless as ever. His partner in crime, Sigmachuko, certainly looking on from the back. Abdominal stretch on the mat here. I've never seen Slardy go for that. He's really digging deep into the repertoire. Doing whatever he can to induce more and more stress on the body of Solo. Silencer! And that's gotta be it. That is ball game for the Scrapyard Saint. Slardy continues a tour of vengeance for the First Nation. It's going to be one hell of a climb back up to contendership for Slardy and Shuko. But week in and week out, every time that they've been able to get a chance to step through the ropes for that bell to ring, they have made the most out of those opportunities. You may not always agree with their tactics, but they sure as hell have been effective between that count-out victory for the First Nation last week and out of this crushing defeat of one half of the tag team champions this week. It seems like Slardy and Shuko, they have one hell of a goal in mind, and that is to try and regain their tag team championships. Congratulations to the War Machine, Slardy. And speaking of tag team action, coming up next, tag team action here on the program, as it'll be the BamBus going one-on-one against the Murder Hornets. This is the first time we've seen the BamBus since Euphoria. A crushing defeat for them in that 60-minute Iron Man match. They look to get back to their goals. They look to return to some sort of route here tonight. The two highest ranked tag teams in KPW at the moment, the Murder Hornets, the BamBus, looking to lock horns here tonight. One of these two teams could very well be marching into Madhouse to take on Solo and K-Dog for the gold. And what we see here tonight, this may be one of the most difficult nights of the careers of both Bam Dardino and Ricky Rhombus. The faithful here tonight, letting them know that, not letting them forget about the lead that they blew at Euphoria. They blew a 3-0 lead in that 60-minute Iron Man match. And they still have a bright future ahead of them. But as we saw it, courtesy of Pierre Cinema, courtesy of the Viceroy Jedi, that future is not here just yet. Ricky Rhombus electing to start things off for the BamBus in their signature green and blue apparel here. The Murder Hornets in some black and yellow. Vertical suplex from Mosquito. Side Russian leg sweep from Ricky Rhombus. Irish whip sending Mosquito into the ropes, recoiling back into a drop toe hold. Another side Russian leg sweep from Ricky Rhombus, the Gainesville Gigolo. As he looks to keep up the pressure here tonight on the Murder Hornets. TV time allotted, 30-minute time limit for these four men in the ring here tonight. Let's see what sort of condition Bam Dardino and Ricky Rhombus are in after that hellacious Iron Man match just over 2 weeks ago at Euphoria. Wristlock reversal from Wasp, taking Bam Dardino off his feet, off of his guard as well. And that might have sharpened the senses of Bam Dardino a bit. He might be taking this a bit more seriously. Irish reversal. Headlock from Bam Dardino, taking him down to the mat here and unleashing a flurry of punches on Wasp. Back suplex. Wishbone split by the blue chipper. And suffice to say, this hasn't been quite the 2025 that Bam Dardino was hoping for. He may be the 2025 Lethal Lottery contract winner. But I don't think his reputation has exactly changed for the better ever since he's won that contract. It took him about 90 seconds to cash in that Lethal Lottery contract. And it took Pando about 86 seconds for him to defeat Bam for the World Heavyweight Championship at Sabotage. Ricky Rhombus tags in now. The BamBus were looking to stake their claims, get to the top here in KPW, officially declare themselves the present and they just weren't able to get the job done at Euphoria. That night must be haunting them and their dreams every single night, every waking moment. And the people here in the Kumite Forum, they are not going to live that one down. Running neck breaker from Ricky Rhombus. Power slam counter by Mosquito. Other side suplex courtesy of one half of the Murder Hornets. And Bam Dardino re-enters this bout. Bam Dardino, I'd say he's part of an elite few members of that KPW locker room to be able to say, hey, I became the KPW World Heavyweight Champion. But I don't think he would like to remember how that championship reign went. In just 12 nights, he was able to gain and then lose that World Heavyweight Championship. And in 12 nights from tonight will be our next monthly special event, Madhouse, coming to you on the 25th at 9/8 Central here on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. Where we know that a KPW World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. The details are not exactly clear at the moment. Last week we saw Pando go one-on-one against Hosway in a 10-minute beat the clock challenge. Hosway had 10 minutes to secure a pin on the World Heavyweight Champion to replace Oliver English at Madhouse. And the KPW board of directors are working diligently and vigilantly to try and clear up the dispute here as Parliament seeks to challenge things as they continue to look for any sort of advantage that they can over the Siberian Silver Bear. Tandem offense from the Murder Hornets, assisted pile driver onto Ricky Rhombus. Speaking of the board of directors, that they have given me word here regarding next week's edition of Warzone, our final stop before Madhouse in just 7 nights. As we already got confirmation earlier on tonight, we'll be seeing Crisp Billy in the building next week as he goes one-on-one against the KPW Hardcore Champion, Bob. Also still to come, tag team action next week on Warzone as Pierre Cinema will be teaming up with his former adversary in the KPW Twitch champion, The Sauce, as they both go up against the team of Steven Gilberg and Tape ahead of Madhouse, as now both of those parties are confirmed to be facing each other that fateful Saturday night. As Tape will get an opportunity at the KPW Twitch Championship against The Sauce, and Pierre Cinema will finally get his hands on Steven Gilberg in singles action at Madhouse. And speaking of tag team action next week on Warzone, Solo already electing to get back into the swing of action, trying to keep his reps up, trying to keep up with his tag team partner in K-Dog. Will be electing to take on one of these 4 members in this bout here next week. We'll be taking somebody on from the winning team, a precursor to Madhouse. As one of these 2 teams, whether it's the Murder Hornets, whether it's the BamBus, they'll be getting a tag team championship opportunity against Bunker Hill. With more to come in just a week's time. Irish whip drop toe hold on to Bam Dardino. Knocker, but Bam Dardino takes to the mat here. Wasp staying on his 2 feet.
1, 2.
Assisted pile driver onto Ricky Rhombus. The tandem offense of the Murder Hornets, they are more in line. They are more closely communicated than the BamBus here tonight. It was speculated for months upon months that Ricky Rhombus, Asa, they're only serving the purpose as being cannon fodder for Bam Dardino while he waited for the perfect moment to strike with that lethal lottery contract. Back suplex off the top. Tag made to Wasp. Wasp trying to leapfrog over Mosquito. Ricky Rhombus saw it coming. He was able to deflect both of the Murder Hornets here tonight. Staying quick on his feet. Trying to outsmart the Murder Hornets. The Murder Hornets, they would have one hell of a chance here at Madhouse if they could defeat Ricky Rhombus and Bam Dardino in tag team action here. If they could take that energy all the way over to Madhouse, they could very well become 2-time KPW Tag Team Champions. Snap powerbomb. Ricky Rhombus reaching out for the tag. Bam Dardino obliges. Now Wasp, Mosquito, the Murder Hornets there in control of this bout. They seem to be dominating the BamBus. A team of conflicting interests at the moment. A team of conflicting emotions as of late. Spinning head scissors from Mosquito. Enziguri takes down Bam Dardino. The BamBus electing to try and get back to square one, try and claim the KPW Tag Team Championships. They have yet to do so. Double power bomb onto Mosquito. And this could be exactly the opportunity that these two need. Single leg Boston Crab. Bam Dardino trying to cut off Mosquito from the ropes, albeit unsuccessful. Axe suplex from Mosquito. Trying to push Bam Dardino away here. Ricky Rhombus picking up Mosquito. Stun gun on the ropes. We saw that strategy laid out loud and clear by Slardy earlier on tonight. Ricky Rhombus trying to stay focused on the legal man here, and that is apparently Wasp here. Leg drop, but nobody home. And look at the bruises starting to form on both of these men here tonight. All four of these combatants, they're getting one hell of a fight here just for the chance to get a tag team championship match in 12 nights time at Madhouse. Irish whip into the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl power slam by Bam Dardino. Dardino looking to go for another wishbone split. And Wasp reaches the ropes just in time. Drop kick takes down Wasp. Mosquito gets the tag. Irish whip reversal by Bam Dardino. Wrist lock, tie up here, reversed by Bam Dardino, flipping out of it and flipping over Mosquito. Shoulder block takes down Bam Dardino. The clothesline takes him back down. Chop to the back of Bam Dardino. A forearm strike takes him down to the mat. Both these men jostling for position. Quick strike takes Mosquito through the ropes. Perfect opportunity for Ricky Rhombus to get tagged in. Drop kick to the back of Mosquito. Camel clutches. Mosquito gonna quit. And he reaches the ropes. Phantom offense for the Murder Hornets. Signaling out Ricky Rhombus, the now legal man. Mosquito. And Wasp moving as one, marching on the same beat at the same tempo. Knife edge chop. It's a Wasp reciprocating with a chop of his own. Breaking the eyes of Wasp here. Ricky Rhombus trying to go for another single leg Boston Crab. Is Wasp gonna quit? And no, he does not. Waistlock counter, side suplex from Ricky Rhombus. Both of these men in the BamBus, they have found success with singles gold here. Ricky Rhombus, a former hardcore champion. Bam Dardino, of course, a former world heavyweight champion.
One.
Of course, the 2025 Lethal Lottery winner.
3, 4.
The Murder Hornets not having the same single success, but they make up for it as a successful tag team here in KPW. They've been tag team champions before. This could be the night for them to get one step closer to making that happen again. Could they make lightning strike twice? Heel kick to the back of the neck of Ricky Rhombus. Both teams making tags here. Mosquito's in, and so is Bam Dardino. Delayed vertical suplex on Bam Dardino. Scoop slam takes down Mosquito. And Bam's looking to keep the aggression up. He's looking to keep his adrenaline high. Knife edge chop. A second chop. Snapmare. Irish whip reversal. Tilt-a-whirl power slam by Bam Dardino. Following up with the leg drop. Drop by Bam Dardino. Another wishbone split. He's very vigilant on trying to tap out Mosquito here tonight.
1.
Action spilling outside the ring. Bam Dardino making his move on Mosquito here tonight. Another wishbone split. Wasp trying to intervene here. Trying to buy Mosquito all the time that he needs to recuperate. Fall away slam by Bam. Drop it down the elbow. Double suplex by the Murder Hornets. And Wasp just laying in the cut. He's doing whatever he can to stay alive here. Murder Hornets doing the right thing, doing the smart thing, trying to keep Bam as far away from his corner as possible. Assisted clothesline, more tandem offense from the Murder Hornets.
3.
As now Bam Dardino, he is even further away from his tag team partner.
6.
Action spilled to the outside. Bam Dardino returning to the ring, count of 8. Sidewalk slam from Bam. Step up enziguri from Wasp. Flipping out of the wrist lock, making the tag to Ricky Rhombus. And now Ricky Rhombus looks to zero in on the Murder Hornets. Looks to get his due here tonight. Drop kick denied by Wasp. Mosquito tags in. 23 minutes on the clock, 7 to go here. Bam Dardino returning to his corner, Wasp returning to his. Ricky Rhombus looking to go for a suplex, but Mosquito floats out of it, floating over. Scoop slam by Ricky Rhombus. Driving down the knees.
One.
Wasp going up top here.
3.
He's looking to make a move on Ricky Rhombus. Double axe down to the floor.
6.
Mosquito turning his attention, diverting it to Bam Dardino.
9.
The blue chipper
10. 11.
as he tries to soften up Mosquito here.
13.
Irish whip into the ropes. Mosquito head full of steam here, looking to close in on Ricky Rhombus. This is not the position that Ricky Rhombus wants to be in. Ricky Rhombus buying himself all the time that he possibly can here. Staying out of the grip of Mosquito. And he can pack a mean bite here. Bam Dardino sneaking in the pin on Mosquito. Looking to steal it, and Mosquito pops up at 2. Now what the hell is gonna happen if these two teams can't even get the job done themselves in just 30 minutes? Who steps up to the plate then? These two have been, these 4 men, they've been tearing the house down. Superplex from the top. I guess at that point, if the Raging Bulls can't make it to Madhouse, if the BamBus can't get the job done here tonight, if the Murder Hornets can't get the job done here tonight, I guess that would just get the First Nation back to the gold even quicker. Because who else would be ahead of them? Snap power bomb. Mosquito going up top here. Hangover.
1, 2, 3.
And the Murder Hornets are going to Madhouse. They realized that the time was of the essence. The clock was ticking down. Their chance was running out. And the Murder Hornets, they had so much better, so much stronger coordination here tonight. compared to the BamBus. Constantly distracted by that painful reminder that they blew that lead at Euphoria. They blew their shot at becoming the present here in KPW, the main event, the top brass. And it appears that before things are gonna get better for Bam Dardino and Ricky Rhombus, tonight was a grim reminder that things may still be getting worse for them. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think the Murder Hornets just found that here tonight. Congratulations to Wasp and Mosquito for scoring a crucial victory, one that will get them to the tag team championships here at Madhouse in just 12 nights. Solo will be awaiting one of these two men next week on Warzone. Congratulations to the Murder Hornets. But coming up next, our main event of the evening, a hoss fight, one for the ages, as the 400-pound Papyrus, representing Parliament, looks to step up to the plate, looks to score whatever advantage that he can for his dear leader, for the secret weapon, as he gets to take down, he gets the chance to eviscerate the KPW World Heavyweight Champion, Pando. Papyrus. He may be the right man for the job here tonight. Chaos Control, they have been looking for a chance to prove themselves to Oliver English. Every chance that they've had to get close to championship gold, any chance that they've had to pull some extra leverage towards the favor of Parliament, they've come so close and yet gotten so far away. But tonight, things could truly be different. Pando looks to get his hands on Papyrus after last week's altercation. We know that Hosway and Oliver English, they can't put their hands on the Siberian Silver Bear. They cannot come into contact with one another until Madhouse is finished.
Fight!
However, Papyrus does not have that same restriction. He is looking to get his hands on the World Heavyweight Champion just as much and just as badly as Pando is looking to get his hands on anybody representing Parliament. When the World Heavyweight Champion sees purple, he might as well just be seeing red here, and he's put up one hell of a slugfest here against Papyrus here in our main event. Irish whip reversal from Papyrus. Shuffle kick takes down Pando. A side kick to the chest, right in the center there. Big chop takes down Papyrus now. Pando looking for a spear. But Papyrus still on his 2 feet here. Pando trying to go for a power bomb as it seemed. Running drop kick. And it's not very often where you see Pando as the lighter of the 2 individuals, the lighter of the 2 parties inside the squared circle. Papyrus maintaining a 100-pound plus advantage over our world heavyweight champion Pando, clocking in tonight at 295 as he takes Papyrus off of his feet with that hellacious spear. But it's gonna need a whole hell of a lot more impact before he can keep Papyrus down for the 3 count. Pando's gonna do everything in his power to make sure that he will not be the one counting the lights above the ring here tonight.
4,
Pando
5,
with a dive over the top and down to the floor.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Side suplex on the floor. Papyrus
13, 14, 15,
as mean as vicious as ever. Belly to back
16,
suplex.
17.
Pando's trying to size up Papyrus. Papyrus keeps Pando out of the ring.
4, 5,
Big avalanche splash from Pando. Running forearm strike, sending Papyrus inside out. Half Nelson all the way across the ring. Pando is a freak of nature. A true tour de force. Man, it's aggression like that. It's pure dominance like that that got him to the World Heavyweight Championship in less than 6 months. Counter from Papyrus. Slingshot into the corner. Irish whip. Sending Pando off the ropes. Shoulder block takes him down to the mat. Pando, recipient of another catapult into the corner. Not since Pando went one-on-one against Crisp Billy have we seen him in such a precarious position where he could be so easily outnumbered and overwhelmed here. But Pando appears to be holding his own quite well here tonight. And he did surprisingly well against Chris Billy all those months ago at Summer Spark. He even was capable of defeating Chris Billy with his own patented maneuver, the GFD. Body slammed by onto Papyrus. Over 400 pounds being slammed. Pando trying to go for it again, but that is just too much for his back. That's got to take a lot of power, a lot of energy out of the World Heavyweight Champion to try and slam the 400-pound Papyrus in the center of the ring here tonight. Big boot in the corner here. Pando swatting away Papyrus like a fly. Scissor kick, bicycle kick. Looking to push Pando away. looking to push him down forcefully to the mat. Pando with the advantage here in the corner. Papyrus regaining control here as he looks to choke the world heavyweight champion out with his boot. Waistlock counter from Papyrus. Another counter from Pando. Pando drilling an elbow into the chest of Papyrus, taking him down. Another drop kick from Pando. Irish whip into the corner. Papyrus. And think of all the pressure that Papyrus is applying to those middle ropes there. Full Nelson slam onto Pando. Papyrus looking to put him away. This would be a big win for Parliament, and Pando kicks out. If Papyrus was able to defeat and pin Pando there, he would be able to claim something that the rest of Parliament hasn't been able to claim ever since they declared Pando their public enemy number one. Papyrus would be able to say something that Oliver English and Hosway haven't been able to say. Pando sizing up Papyrus, looking for another spear. I think Papyrus's head bounced off the bottom rope there. That was absolutely vicious. Papyrus running right into the grip of Pando here. Big slam from Pando. Hooking the leg. Pando, he's going to have to move quick while he still has the energy, while he still has the focus, the adrenaline, the blood rushing and pumping through his veins. Oh my God! Pando just launched a 400-pound man all the way across the ring. And he looks to close in with the bear claw. Hooking the leg just like he did at Euphoria. And Pando picks up the win. Pando using that bear claw not to outsmart the Monarch like he did at Euphoria, but now to display his dominance, his physical prowess over the 400-pound Papyrus. As Pando's reign of dominance as the world heavyweight champion continues. Kruger rushing down to the ring, assisting his tag team partner here. What the hell? Kruger's also not affected. By the no-compete clause here. Pando's still putting up one hell of a fight between these two members of Chaos Control. Pando doing his best to clear the ring here. Kruger, still a very fresh man, rushing the ring on behalf of his tag team partner, the other half of Chaos Control. And Pando, this is the second week in a row where Pando's been jumped by these two men. He was left to fend for himself last week. Is that going to be the same case here tonight? Is Pando truly on his own here? And look at Papyrus with the table. What the hell does Papyrus have in mind here? As we got cameras rolling, that's the heartthrob Popo. He's laying in the cut on Hosway. He's barged into the locker room of Parliament. As Chaos Control, they're still putting down one hell of a beating on Pando in the ring here. Popo making light work of Hosway in the Parliament locker room as the faction war is just increasingly getting more and more out of control here. Between these two warring factions, something has to give here. Popo taking out Hosway with that steel chair there. What the hell is this? Popo atop the two tables. DDT on Hosway. And look what's waiting for Oliver English right outside the door. That's the KPW Tag Team Champions. K-Dog, Solo. Moving in on the Monarch. Pando, Oliver English, and Hosway, they couldn't lay their hands on one another, leading into Madhouse. Otherwise, their contracts would all be terminated. These restrictions clearly didn't apply to anybody in Bunker Hill, however. And I think Pando might be getting one hell of an assist here tonight. He's got quite the lineup of backup here, as the cavalry makes light work of Parliament here tonight. Hey Dog working down the Monarch. Solo with the stop sign in hand, reminiscent of Euphoria, where we saw Hosway get drilled onto that stop sign. But the World Heavyweight Champion, his own move. We thought Hosway had a broken neck. Assisted pile driver on the stop sign, which means there's only one man left. Popcorn Poppy looking to make the save here for Pando. He's looking to even up the score against Parliament. Now, if anybody is more than equipped to make the save here, to put up any sort of fight against Parliament, it would surely have to be Popcorn Poppy. And look at them go. Popcorn Poppy taking the fight right to both members of Chaos Control. Pando regaining his composure there. This is exactly the chance. This is exactly the sort of leverage that Pando needed against Parliament, and this couldn't have come at a better time for him. Bunker Hill running down, systematically taking out Parliament and Popcorn Poppy. Look at a snap, crackle, and pop on Papyrus. And now Kruger's getting a piece of the action. Wham! Message sent from Bunker Hill to Parliament. Pando has some real security here in the form of Bunker Hill. And I don't think they're looking for any sort of favors. They're not looking for any sort of preferential treatment. They have the same common enemy. And they know what needs to be vanquished. Popcorn Poppy and Pando standing tall tonight. And as I'm getting word, these two will be in action, in tag team action next week against Chaos Control on War Zone. What a hell of a pit stop to make before Madhouse. And that is all the time we have here, folks. I have been Tapey Styles, the only man that could call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. Represent Bunker Hill, Popcorn Poppy, Popo, Solo, K-Dog. They have shifted the tides in KPW for sure. Good night, everybody.